Hey YouTube yoga friends, I hope you are well. Welcome to this goddess flow with me, Amy. If you haven't met me before, I'm very happy to have you here. Just some things at the start, I would be super duper grateful if you could subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It means we get to practice together again in the future. You can also like this video if you enjoyed it. It lets me know that I should make more like it in the future. And you can also comment with any suggestions or requests for me. So whatever gender you identify with, this goddess flow is the flow for you. We're going to be tapping into our sacral chakra, which is around the hip space, which is all about sensuality, creativity, fluidity, all that goodness. So we're going to begin today in a yogi squat at the top of our mat, bringing the feet to hip width apart or a little bit wider, toes pointing towards the outside edges of the mat. You can grab blocks or cushions or books and pop those underneath your heels if your heels don't reach the floor. You can also pop anything underneath your bum to give you a little bit of extra support. And if you will not be able to spend a few minutes comfortably in Malasana, you can also start in Baddha Konasana. So it looks like this, Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet touching, knees dropping out to the side. So just take whichever option you'll be able to comfortably spend our first few minutes grounding into our space. Whichever option you've chosen, draw the shoulders back and the collarbones forwards, reaching the crown of the head up to the sky and finding one nice long line from the crown of the head to the tip of the tailbone. Take a moment for some svadhyaya, so self-study, one of the key principles of yoga. Check in with yourself, check in with your body. How is the body feeling? Are there any areas of tightness or tension? Are there feelings of nervousness manifesting in your body? Maybe a tightness in the chest. Or maybe you're feeling relaxed. You're feeling excited, and so your body feels soft, it feels loose. No right or wrong answer, just taking a moment to observe. Now check in with the breath. Is the breath flowing in and out through the nose? Is it making its way down into the belly? Or maybe it's getting stuck a bit higher up in the chest. And we can try and make the breath a little bit deeper, smoother, slower, sending it further and further down into the belly with every inhale. And releasing all of that air on every exhale. Finally, check in with your mind. You might have already picked up on how your mind is feeling when you checked in with your body and your breath. But if not, take a moment to notice the thoughts, the feelings, anything that's going on in your mind right now. Take 3 more deep breaths here on your own in silence, feeling the body connecting to the earth, feeling the breath. As you're ready, if you're not in a yogi squat position right now, you can come and meet us here. Bringing the hands to press together at heart center, using the elbows to push the knees further away from one another. Then as you're ready, use your next inhale to sweep the left hand down next to the left foot and the right arm reaches up to the sky. Take a full cycle of breath here, really sending the breath into the right side body, stretching open. And exhale, maybe you open the chest a little bit further. Take another breath in this position, or option to experiment with the bind, reaching the left hand behind the back of the left leg, right hand behind the back, and taking the clasp around that left leg. Using the left hand pulling on the right to open the chest even further up towards the sky. As you're ready, everyone use your next inhale to unwind, sweep the arms up overhead, finding some strength in the hips, and exhale, open up to the other side, sweeping the left arm up, right hand comes down to the mat, and we take a full cycle of breath here. Then either taking another breath in this position or reaching around for the bind, wrapping around that right leg, really opening through the chest. Once again, use your inhale to sweep the arms up overhead, finding the strength in the hips, and then exhale, place both hands on the mat, straighten the legs, lift the hips up to the sky, then walk the feet to hip width, so all 10 toes are pointing forwards, and start to pedal out through the legs, bending and straightening one leg at a time. Sending the breath into the back of the legs. On your next breath in, fill the lungs with air, press the hands into the shins, coming up to a nice flat back position. Then use your exhale to come all the way up to standing with a flat back, keeping that integrity in the spine as we make our way to standing. Just take a moment here to feel that connection of the feet into the earth. And use your next inhale to draw the left knee up in towards the chest, sweep both arms up overhead, and then start to take circles with that left knee. So imagining like there's a paintbrush on your knee and you want to paint a big circle in the air in front of you. Now switch direction of the circles, tapping into our balance here. As you're ready, bring that knee back up into the chest, then take a twist to the left, bringing the left hand behind, bringing the right hand to the outside edge of that left knee. Option to stay here, or you can experiment with bringing the right hand to the outside edge of that left foot and straightening that left leg straight out in front of you. Everybody, use your next breath in to let go of that leg or the foot, sweep the arms up, straighten that leg out in front, then option to experiment with lowering down to the ground via a pistol squat, so bending into the right knee, left leg stays hovering off the mat, and then let's all plonk ourselves down on the mat, right knee stamps next to, right foot stamps next to the left knee is what I'm trying to say, I can't get my words out. Inhale, sweep both arms up overhead, exhale, twist to the left, and maybe we take a bind around that right knee. So chest is opening to the left side of the room. We might have the hands clasped behind the back as we hook around that right knee, and the left toes stay nice and flexed, nice and active. Option to experiment here with picking up that right foot, keeping the bind, and then placing the right foot to the outside of the left knee this time. Then inhaling to sweep the arms up, exhaling to twist to the other side. You might hug around that right knee, or you might hook the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Or another option is to straighten that right arm and reach it around for the inside edge of the right foot. Take whichever option enables you to keep a nice long spine here, reaching the crown of the head up towards the sky. Use your next breath in to unravel. Maybe take a baby counter twist to the other side. Then let the right foot carry on travelling towards the left hip, stacking right knee on top of left, and then bringing the left heel in towards the right glute, landing in our cow face pose. Take 3 deep breaths here in your cow face. You can fold down over the legs, or you can just stay upright. and your knees do not have to be stacking one on top of the other. There might be a gap between them, and that's absolutely fine. As you're ready, if you're folded over, come and meet us sat upright. Then let's roll over onto the knees, plant the hands at the front of the mat, so shoulders stacking over wrists, knees underneath the hips, root down through the right knee, and lift the left leg, sweep it up towards the sky, tuck onto the right toes, lift the right knee off the mat, and then straighten that right leg, landing in a three-legged down dog. You can adjust the stance if you need to by hopping that right foot out. And let's open the hip, bend the leg, start to take circles with that left knee. Switch direction of the circles. Now inhale, sweep the left toes all the way up to the sky. Exhale, drop the left toes down next to the right. Inhale, come up onto the toes. Bend into the knees, press the chest back, and then exhale, hop your way forwards back into Malasana at the top of the mat. Once again, bring the hands together at heart center, press the knees into the elbows, and let's bring a bit of fire into the hips by lifting them until the torso is parallel to the ground and then lowering back down. Let's do that 10 times, going at your own pace. For me, this is 5, 3, 2, 1. Woo! My hips are burning and I'm getting a sweat on after that. Now, option to come up to standing via the forward fold like we did before, or to bring one hand to, well, both hands to the opposite shoulders and then press our way up to standing, just using the strength in the legs. Whew. Give those hips a little shimmy shake out. Release the hands down by the sides, whichever option you chose, landing back in our Tadasana. Let's inhale, sweep the arms up, bring the right knee into the chest this time, and start to take those circles with that right knee. And switch direction of the circles. Inhale, bring that knee back in towards the chest. Exhale, twist to the right, either bringing the left hand onto the right knee or experimenting with bringing it to the outside edge of the right foot and straightening that right leg. Fill the lungs with air as you sweep the arms straight up overhead. Everyone extending that leg out in front, and then maybe experiment with lowering down via a pistol squat, catching that balance before placing the bum down on the mat. We'll inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, twist over to the right, maybe finding the bind around the left leg. And keeping the right toes nice and active, flexing them back towards your face. And then the option to experiment with lifting the left foot off the mat, keeping the bind, and then placing the left foot to the outside of that right knee. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, twist to the other side, either hugging the knee, hooking the elbow, or straightening the right arm, reaching it around for the inside edge of that foot. Inhale, lengthen the crown of the head even higher up towards the sky. And exhale, maybe take it a little bit deeper into that twist. Then we bring, unravel, take a baby counter twist to the other side, and then we bring the left heel in towards the right glute. Bring the right heel in towards the left glute. I can't speak today. And then we take 3 breaths here in our cow face pose, either sitting upright or folding down over the legs. If you fold it down, come and meet us all sat upright, and then we'll roll our way forwards onto the knees, planting both hands down on the mat at shoulder width distance apart. Then we root down through the left knee, sweep the right toes up towards the sky, lift the left knee off the mat, and then push our way back into a three-legged dog, adjusting the stance as necessary. Drop that knee open, heel comes towards the glute, and then we start to take big circles with that right knee. Switch direction of the circles. Inhale, sweep those toes all the way up to the sky. Exhale, drop that foot down. Inhale to prepare, press the chest back. Exhale, hop it back forwards into your malasana. Once again, we're going to take 10 of those lifts and lowers, going at your own pace, moving with your breath. For me, this is 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow, that really does get the hips burning. Once again, let's bring the hands to cross over the chest, maybe taking the opposite arm on the front this time, if you can remember which you did before, and pressing our way up to standing, giving those hips a little shimmy shake out. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, hinge from the hips, come down into your fold. Give those legs a little bit of a break, bending and straightening one knee at a time. Reconnect to your breath if you lost it, preparing to move on to our next little sequence. As you're ready, start to walk those feet back out and then lower yourself back down into your malasana. Inhale, sweep the left arm down, right arm reaches up to the sky. Exhale, maybe we take that bind around the leg. Now you can come up to standing, just bringing the left knee into the chest, or you can play around with coming up to the standing with the bind around the left leg. It's definitely a tricky one, so just play around. You might fall out of it, you might not make it all the way up. Just coming up to standing, either with the bind or with the knee hugging into the chest. If you've got the bind, option is to experiment with changing the clasp to be underneath the thigh. So we're reaching the arms underneath the left thigh, and then maybe you experiment with straightening the left leg up towards the sky. Here we are, landing in our bird of paradise. Everyone inhale to unwind, sweep the left toes forwards into our standing staff, and then exhale, maybe keeping that leg straight and not dragging it. We land in our warrior 3. Reaching the left toes towards the back of the mat, crown of the head reaches forwards. You can have the hands at heart centre or reach them out in front for a little extra challenge. And let's take 10 pulses, bending into that right knee. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to your warrior 3 and then drop the left toes all the way to the back of the mat. Land in a warrior 2. So right toes point forwards, left toes are out at an angle, and we press into the outer edge of the left foot. Let's inhale, straighten the leg, bring the hands to touch overhead. Exhale, sink back down. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, sink back down. One more time. Inhale to straighten. Exhale, take it down. Now inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle. Just one time here. Inhale back up to warrior 2. Now bend into the right knee and sink your way down into a side lunge here, into our Skandasana. So we've got the right elbow pressing into the right knee, left toes pointing up towards the sky. You can have the hands down on the mat, you can have them at heart center, or you can have an extra challenge, reaching them up overhead. Now, using any of those options, we're going to travel over to the back of the mat. Take it back over to the front, back over to the mat, back to the front, over to the back. Go at your own pace. One more time in each direction, over to the front, back to the mat, back to the mat, back to the back, then over to the front, and everyone meet here in your Skandasana on the right leg, then place your bum down on the floor. Bring the left hand to the right ankle, sweep the right arm up and over for the left toes, coming into a side bend here. Using the hands to lever yourself into the stretch and sending the breath into the right side of the body. As you're ready, fill the lungs with air as you come back upright. Then you're going to bring the right knee to meet the left, coming into hero pose facing the back of the mat. So the right heel is tucking in next to the right glute. Left toes are pointing up towards the sky. We'll inhale, reach the arms up, then exhale, fold down over that left leg and take 3 deep breaths here. Now, lots of options here. Fill the lungs with air as you come back up to seated. Then you can either stay upright here, or you can start to come down onto the hands, maybe down onto the forearms, or all the way down onto your back with that right foot still tucking in next to the right glute. If this feels like enough of a stretch, you can stay here. Or you can experiment with hugging the left knee into the chest as you push that right knee down towards the earth, even further intensifying that stretch in the top of the right quad. Now, if you're reclined, keep hold of that left knee and then bring the right ankle to cross over in front of the left knee. If you are still seated upright, come and meet us here in our reclined pigeon. So we're hugging the left knee in, right ankle crosses over the left knee, and we use the right elbow to push that right knee away, really opening into the hips here. Unravel those legs, bring the hands onto the knees and start to rock yourself back and forwards, building up some momentum to land your way at the back of the mat in a chair pose. As you're ready, sweeping those arms up overhead, bringing the big toes to touch, a little bit of space between the heels. Option to stay here or to take the challenge of coming up onto your tiptoes. Holding here in whichever option of your chair pose was calling to you today. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release those heels down onto the mat. Release yourself into a fold and just give those legs a little bit of a wiggle. Then, just like we did before, we'll walk the toes to the outside edges of the mat, sink the heels back down, the bum back down towards the heels. I told you guys, I cannot speak today. We'll move on to the other side. So this time we sweep the right hand down, left arm reaches up to the sky, and then we maybe take that bind around the right leg. Then option to experiment with rising up to standing with that bind around that right leg. Might take you a few attempts, that's totally cool. Just come and meet us, standing on your left leg, either with the bind around the right knee or hugging the right knee into the chest. If you've got the bind around the right leg, You might experiment with changing the grip so that your hands are clasping underneath that right thigh. And then maybe we straighten the right leg up towards the sky. Whatever option you've chosen, we'll all take a deep breath in, sweep the arms up, sweep the right leg up towards the sky, and then release the air as we descend into a warrior 3, finding a nice long line from the crown of the head to the tip of the tailbone, and then we'll take 10 dips with the left knee. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to our warrior 3, and then let those right toes drop, landing in a warrior 2. Left leg is bent and we're facing the back of the mat here. Inhale, straighten that leg, reach the arms up. Exhale, sink back down. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, sink it down. One more time. Inhale, press those hands together, sink it down. Then inhale, find the reverse. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, drop it down onto that left side Skandasana. Hands on the mat, hands at heart center, or hands reaching up to the sky. Let's travel over onto the right leg, back to the left. Onto the right, back to the left. One more time, over to the right, back to the left, and then we sit ourselves down on the mat. Bring the right hand to the left ankle, sweep the right hand, the left hand up and over for the right toes, and open through the left side body. Inhale, unravel, come back upright, then exhale, bring the left knee to meet the right. Magically, we've made our way back to face the front of the mat, with the left leg in half hero pose, right toes pointing up towards the sky. We'll inhale, sweep the arms up, exhale, fold down over that right leg, and settle in for 3 deep breaths. Inhale, rise back up, come to an upright seated position, and then exhale, you can start to walk yourself back onto the hands, the forearms, or all the way down onto the back. Maybe this feels like enough for you today, or maybe you experiment with hugging the right knee into the chest, drawing the right knee in and drawing the left knee energetically away from you. Feeling the intensity in the legs maybe, but staying nice and soft through the rest of the body. Then everyone making your way into reclined pigeon with the left ankle crossing over the top of the right knee. Unravel yourself, bring the hands to the knees, then once again rock yourself up, find the momentum to land in a chair pose at the top of the mat. Can you sink it down even further than you did last time, finding the strength in the legs, sending that energy out through the fingertips. And then maybe we come up onto the very tips of our toes. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release into your fold. One last time, give those legs the nice wiggle. Give them a shake out. Inhale, halfway lift, come up to a flat back. Exhale, rise all the way up to standing with a flat back. Now bring the hands to the hips, turn to face the long edge of the mat, and then step the feet out wide, toes pointing out at an angle, heels pointing in. We inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, sink it down into our goddess pose. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, reach them up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, sweep them high. Exhale, cactus. One more time. Inhale to sweep them up. Exhale, sink it down and take 10 pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, sweep it high. Exhale, cactus. Then bring the hands to the knees. Dip the right shoulder in. Press that right knee away from you. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, take it over to the other side. Inhale, come back through center. Hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, sweep the arms up, and then exhale, bring the hands to the hips, wiggle the hips from side to side. Whew. Now, option is just to walk the feet in towards one another and then come down to the mat using the hands to support, or you can walk the feet in a little bit and then bring the hands underneath the thighs and come down via a titibhasana. So straightening the legs out towards the front, well, it's the side of the mat now, balancing here for a few moments and then plonking yourself down, landing in Upavista Konasana. Legs are out wide, toes point up to the sky, thighs roll out away from you. You can stay in this upright position, or you can start to walk the hands further and further away, maybe coming onto the forearms, or maybe we start to bring the chest down towards the earth. You can create a little pillow with your hands for your forehead to rest on. So in this pose, we want to think about reaching the chest forwards rather than just reaching the torso down. So you don't want your chest to reach the floor before your stomach. So if your chest is on the floor and your stomach is not, then just come up out of the pose. Inhale, press yourself back up to an upright position. Then you're just going to swing the legs around, coming into our Paschimottanasana. We'll inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold down over the legs. Once again, reaching that chest forwards rather than reaching it down, keeping that nice long spine even as we fold. Draw the air into the lungs as you draw yourself up to a seated position. Cross over the ankles, roll back forwards into a tabletop position. Inhale, sweep the right leg out behind. Exhale, draw that right foot to the outside of the right hand into our lizard pose. You can roll onto the outer edge of the right foot. You can come down onto the forearms. You can sway from side to side, or you can find stillness, taking whatever option is calling to you today. Whatever option you've chosen, let's all press up onto our hands. Then swing the right foot through so it comes towards the left hip. Right knee is next to the right wrist, and we descend down into our pigeon pose, softening down over that right leg. Use your next breath in to draw yourself back up to an upright position, and let's undulate here. So even more breath in as you inhale, exhale, fold down. Inhale, lift, exhale, fold. One more time, inhale, lift, exhale, fold. Now inhale, lift, root both hands into the earth, step your way back into a tabletop. Give those hips a little wiggle from side to side. Then inhale, extend the left leg out behind. Exhale, plant the left foot to the outside of the left hand, and then drop yourself down either on the forearms or upright on your hands into your lizard. And find some movement here, feeling into the hips. Draw yourself up as you draw the air in, and then bring that left foot in towards the right hip. Drop the left knee down and descend down over that leg into our pigeon. Take a big deep breath, draw yourself back upright, and let's take those waves. Exhaling to release, inhaling to ripple our way back up. Breathe out, descend, breathe in to rise. One more time, exhale, release. Inhale, come back up, root down through those hands, press your way back to a tabletop, and then bring the big toes to touch, bring the knees wide, sink it back into a child's pose. Once again, maybe find some movement here, wiggling into the hips. And let the forehead rest either down on the mat or stack one hand on top of the other for your head to rest on. Letting the weight of the entire body be supported by the earth. Inhale, lift back up, plant the hands near the top of the mat, snake your way forwards onto your belly, and then simply roll your way over onto your back, landing in Shavasana. I'll invite you to take a Supta Baddha Konasana with the feet touching and the knees dropping out wide. Or you can take a traditional Shavasana, or you can bring the feet to the outside edges of the mat and the knees drop in. Just take whichever option feels most appealing to you today. Once again, let's take a moment for some svadhyaya, some self-study. Scan the body for any areas of tension, any areas that still feel a bit tight. Maybe noticing if the body feels any different from how it did at the start. Check in with your breath. Has this practice changed the quality of your breath at all? Is it travelling deeper into the belly? Is it smoother? Is it softer? No right or wrong answer here. Finally, check in once again with your mind, with the thoughts, with the feelings that are going on for you right now. And then let's take a few moments in stillness, in silence. Feeling into all the parts of the body that are connected to the earth, feeling into the breath. If your mind is full of thoughts right now, just let it come, let it be, and let it go. Like clouds floating away through the sky, just let your thoughts come up, acknowledge them, accept them, and then let them move on their way. If you feel like chilling out in your Shavasana for longer, then please feel free to reach over, pop me on pause and chill out for as long as you wish. If you're ready to move on, find the movements that your body is asking for today as you slowly snake your way out of your Shavasana, coming up to a comfortable seated position. Keeping the eyes closed if that feels comfortable for these last few moments. Bring the hands onto the knees for a sense of grounding, sealing in the effects of our practice today. Let's finish our practice with one deep releasing breath, filling up the belly with air through the nose and sigh it out through the mouth. Make it loud. You can open the eyes if they're not already. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. I really hope you enjoyed that. If you did, like I said at the start, I'd be so happy if you could subscribe to my channel if you have not already, comment any suggestions or requests, and like this video so that I know you enjoyed it. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.